Okay, so I thought today we'd do something a little different and document some finish repair on this Gibson Les Paul with beautiful finish, great flame, and I'll review the guitar later. But Kevin Swaim, my friend and luthier, is going to be doing this repair, and the sound is a little sketchy, and in one portion of the video, there's some background noise from one of his machines that he has on, which he does turn off eventually. So, just kind of enjoy the sights and appreciate the sounds for what they are. Um, Appreciate you tuning in, and thanks. We'll have some more content for you later. While he's getting his brushes, give you a quick tour of his workshop tools. Fret wire. Nice little plier holder there. Stroke tuner in the background. Oh, he's got a new TV. Straight edge.
But yeah, you can. I mean, you theoretically we could brush a last stone on there, and that'll kind of soften it up, and then because you're not going to put that much lacquer on it, right? You have to slowly build it up. If you put, like, you could theoretically put a huge glob of lacquer on it, right? But the amount of time that'll take before it fully dries, you're better off to do a lot smaller, thinner coats. Probably get by with just a small brush.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's do that. We'll do a little to be a small pipette.
I need to get some of those.
Well, we used to get Nathan and I both used to get Stu Mack ones, but the Stu Mack ones, you get 12 for $6, and we found in these an industrial supply place on Amazon where you can buy 100 of them for $6.
They're great when you need them.
Also, you can usually get an idea of how thick the Nitro is. If it, yeah, like that's thinned a little bit, but it's not thinned that much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a couple drops of acetone in there. And then you're just gonna paint it on, right? I just spilled some right there. That's okay, because you'll wind up wet sanding it all out, the whole area.
Shouldn't you wipe it off anyway?
No, it's already. If you wipe it off now, it's just gonna finish off with it. That's the other thing, and it took me a long time to learn. Once you do that, don't try to fix it, or you just unfixed it forever. Just let it sit. It'll kind of roll a little bit. You want me to fix that little spot too?
Might as well.
Because it'll start softening up.
A couple dimples.
Yeah, see, depending on the coloring, like I could come back in and kind of brush this in a little bit more, and that would kind of, because it's already softened up the finish, it would kind of smear it. And if it was just plain clear, or if the clear was, there was like 5 coats of clear on top of a color, it maybe wouldn't go down to the color as much. But once it starts to dissolve it, if you start smearing it, you'll smear the color too, right? So it depends on if there's like a shader. Like if this is just stained in the wood, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But now that's really it. That's it. You
Mm-hmm.
just want to let it sit and you want to let it dry, and it will shrink back about 80%. And so what looks like big blobs will become nothing. And then you'll have to drop fill it again.
How many times do you have to do that?
It
Just
depends.
each time?
I would probably do it at least 2 or 3 times. And here, to give you an example, like that big blob right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I had a big splatter of that land on this guitar body. Right. All right. We're getting about as close as. You also notice it's not taking anything off now?
I see that razor blade, so scotch tape on both ends. Control your surface area and your depth, right?
Right. And now, if I was doing just one, I would take it all the way down, wet sand it up to 2,000, and then buff it out. I won't go all the way there on this one because you probably
Still got to do all the rest, yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start with some 600. And of course, this is not my technique. This is the infamous Dan Early one, or as I like to call him, my hero. So we'll take some strips.
How'd that settle, you think? Is it thick enough?
I don't know. If we get down to the surface and it's not, drop fill, we'll set a little bit more. All right, so we take some of these and we just want to cut into some strips. And so we're going to put our finger right there. We're going to pull in from different directions. And so it'll scuff the surface a little bit around it, but since that's not where I'm pushing, it's not really taking off hardly any finish.
And that's all going to get buffed out anyway.
It's all going to get buffed out anyway. As soon as it gets to where there's some stuff on it, you can clean it off a little bit, but it's best to just switch to a new piece.
You're just kind of doing it until it feels smooth, though.
Yeah, because you can feel down to 1/1000th of an inch, but you can't see down to 1/1000th of an inch. Not on a clear surface like this. So for instance, just alternate the direction. Okay, feel right there at the very top. So it's become, you can't even feel it.
Yep.
Right? You can still feel down.
You can just feel the roughness, but you can't feel the ridge of
But
it.
you can still feel down there.
A little bit down there.
So
Still, yeah.
we just keep going right where you can feel it. And you can see, if you look at an angle, you can see a shadow where it's still a little bit higher. And so you just want to blend that in. For this, I'll probably stop right there. move to a piece of 800. This one would do a lot longer stroke. Oh, well, guess I'm not going to do a longer stroke. And now is when I'd actually start wet sanding. So what we'll do is we'll start with a piece of 1000 grit. And I've got some stuff that's actually water with just a little bit of dish soap. And I want a very small sanding surface. I'm just using a little pearl eraser. And so I'm going to grab my paper towel and spritz a little water on there.
You kind of lose sight of it there.
Yeah, you can still see the outline of it.
Yeah.
And then if you look from an angle, you can see it's pretty much going. Now all that remains is 1500, 2000.
Get that
But-
cloudiness off.
Yeah, but that's where I would stop at right there.
Interesting. Yeah, you get at an angle and it disappears almost. There you go.
And just to show you, I'll just do this one real quick. We'll get the
Still see it a little bit, but yeah. Just a little buffing.
Let me see if I got 1500. Oh, I got 1200.
A lot of dings that we just decided to address at the same time since we were taking care of this long gouge. I think I got it captured very good when you were putting drop filling in. So yeah, it's kind of a big gouge there. Let's see how that turns out. But these were just dings. Dings and dents.
All right, so we'll take a little 1200. And now all you're doing is you're just trying to blend in the scratch patterns. And you can go out a little wider. And it doesn't take much at that point. Now a little 2000. And this is the point at which you can start buffing out. Up to 2000, you can probably start with medium. I'm just gonna put a little medium on it.
But what kind do you use? Is that McGuire's or Novus #2 or?
This is Stuart McDonald's
Oh,
paste
that's the
polishing
Stu Mac.
compound, but they just rebrand somebody else's
some
stuff.
automotive.
Yeah. If I was to take it over the wheel, it would be Manzurna. So. And you want to bear down quite a bit. And you'll notice the sandpaper scratches are gone. What you have now is scratches
A
from
little lighter. Still
So-
just a teeny cloudy, but it's really starting to blend. Definitely, yeah. Barely see. See that edge there.
just a little bit of this.
See the edge there. Well, look at there. It's almost gone. Can't even tell, hardly. Just a little bit right here, but really not much. You can see that's starting to all even out.
Well, normally I'd be a little slower. I just wanted to show you.
Yeah, yep, that's definitely gonna work itself out, isn't it? So
So
yeah, I
then-
see. You can see
And just a
a
soft.
little bit where it was there, can't you? Not too bad.
And then you can go to swirl mark remover. Or if this was all stripped, just put it on the buffer. It's a lot less work.
So
Or
that's in the very light. You can barely tiny see where that was.
you can use some buffing or sponges like this, which has coarse on it. Put this in your drill. But that's, you can still see the residue from the coarse compound. And then you can get into different areas. You gotta be very careful though, because you're spinning this. You can compress this without realizing it and have that just eat right through the
Yeah,
finish.
screw that.
Yeah. It's gonna be,
It looks like what you're doing by hand here is gonna do the trick. So, well done, man. Nice. As you can see here, there's a lot of spots that he drop filled. Just all the dings and dents. The major issue was that long scratch in between the pickups, and he just demonstrated on one spot. But you can see that takes a lot of patience and skill and time, right, to do this right. So he did finish that up, and I'm going to be picking that guitar up shortly. And the pictures I saw looked really good, but you really have to look at it in angles. So more to come on that, and we'll review the guitar too. Thanks again for coming by.